students. So today we are here with again the chapter acid, bases and salts, and in this lecture we have to cover the indicators and we'll try to cover the properties of acids. So in the last lecture we had read about the types of acids and bases on different bases. Now we are here with the term indicator. Now what is this indicator? Indicator means what? Something which indicates something, right? So indicator are those substances which are used to decide whether the given substance is acid or base. We cannot touch every substance, we cannot taste every substance. So for the identification that the given substance is acid or base, we are having this indicator which shows whether the given substance is acid or base. Now indicator term is also familiar to you because you have read it in class 7. Here in class 10 we have to read something more about the indicators. So the definition is the substance which indicate that whether the given substance is acid or base. So indicators are used to identify acid or base. Now there are different types of indicators. The very first type which we have to read is natural indicator. Natural indicator means the indicator which occurs naturally are called as natural indicator, and these are the most commonly type used indicators which we use are in a lab or in our practical works. So there are various kinds of natural indicators which we are having. The very first or very common is litmus, all of you know. Then turmeric powder is also one of the very common example of natural indicator. Then we can have red cabbage. Hopefully you have seen it, the red cabbage. Then hibiscus flower. In common term we called it as China rose flower. So these are some natural indicators which we are having. Okay, so what is the change in color which it shows, which gives us the idea about the acid or base? So if we are writing about the change in color, here we'll write about the acids and here we'll write about the bases. So what are the change in color of these indicators? So litmus is very common to you. Litmus changes blue to red if the given substance is acid, and if it is a base then it changes red to blue. Now turmeric, all of you have seen the turmeric. If the turmeric paste or the vegetables fall on your clothes and you apply detergent on it, what changes do you observe? There is change in the color of this yellow turmeric into red. So detergent is what? Base. So we can write here, it turns to red, yellow to red. And in acid there is no any change if we use the turmeric as indicator. So if we add the given substance in turmeric paste or powder or solution, if there is no any change then the given substance is acid, and if there is change in color then the given substance is base, and that change in color is what? Yellow to red. Now if we use red cabbage, in acid this red cabbage juice turns to pink, or we can say light red, and in bases it turns to blue or green. Bluish green type of color appears when we add a base in red cabbage juice. Next one is hibiscus flower. Hibiscus flower, China rose flower is very common flower. So hibiscus flower juice, when we extract and use it as indicator in acid, it gives pink color, and in base it gives dark green color, or we can say the color which tends to black. Dark green which tends to be black. So these are the natural indicators which we are having, which shows the change in color when we add acid or base. With the help of the color change we observe, we can identify that the given substance is acid or base. Now, the second type of indicator is synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators. Now, what is this synthetic indicators? Synthetic indicators are those indicators which are not natural occurring, or which are prepared in the factories or in the lab by human beings. So man-made indicators are called as synthetic indicators. So there are many man-made indicators are also present over here, which we use in our laboratory for various tests of acids and bases. Now I am giving some of the examples of the synthetic indicators. As for example, if we take phenolphthalein, if we use phenolphthalein, then again what changes do we observe in the acids? There will be no any change. It will remain colorless. The color of phenolphthalein is colorless. There is no any color of phenolphthalein. So in acids it remains same, that it remains colorless. There is no any change in acids. But when we add this phenolphthalein in bases, we are having a pink color solution. So the color change, what color change do we observe? It remains colorless in acids and it changes to pink in bases. One more indicator is there, that is methyl orange. Methyl orange is also one of a synthetic indicator. In acid, this methyl orange changes to red, and in bases it changes to yellow. Methyl orange, its original color is orange. So when we add acid in this methyl orange solution, we'll have red color, and in bases it gives yellow color. So these are the different indicators which we use in our lab for our practicals and the other researches, which gives us the idea about whether the given solution or compound is acid or base. Now in your standard you have to read about one more type of indicators. One more type of indicator, that is olfactory indicator. So what are these olfactory indicators? Olfactory indicators are those indicators which are used on the basis of change in odor, that is change in smell. On the basis of change in smell, we can identify that the given substance is acid or base. So this indicator is basically used for visually impaired children, visually impaired students or researchers. Because they cannot see the color change, they can use this type of indicators based on the sense of smell. Now what are the olfactory indicators which we are having? I am giving some example over here. First you can write onion. You all have senses the smell of onion. Okay, that smell, again we'll write acid or base over here so that you can easily distinguish between the changes. So the characteristic smell of onion, if we put that onion juice in acids, there will be no change in acid. But if we add base in this onion juice, the smell vanishes. So we can write onion loses its smell. Okay, so its smell vanishes when we add base in it. Now one more example is there, clove. All of you have seen clove. Okay, it is one of the spices which is very common in our country. So clove has also a specific smell. If we have seen the clove oil, there is a specific smell of clove oil. So clove oil also when we use, there is no change in acids, but in bases it loses its smell. Similarly, one more olfactory indicator we can use here, vanilla. This is a very common essence. All of you know it, right? So what effect does it shows when we add acid or base? So even in the vanilla essence, there is no any change if we add the acid. But if we add the base, this vanilla essence loses its smell. So on the basis of change in smell, we can have another category of the indicator that is called as olfactory indicators. So indicators are that substance which helps us to identify whether the given substance is acid or base. We are having three types of indicator: natural, synthetic and olfactory. Some are there which changes the color. On the basis of that we can identify the acid or base, and some are there which on the basis of smell we can identify whether the given substance is acid or base. Now moving towards the next topic. So after the indicator, we are having the next topic as physical properties of acids and bases. We can call it as general properties also. So we categorize the properties in general or we can say physical or chemical. Physical things are those things which we can observe with a common physical test, or we can say by observing, by watching that. And chemical properties are those properties which we observe by reacting the substance with another substance. So let's have a look on the general properties of acids and bases, or we can say the physical properties of acids and bases. So I have written in comparative form so that you can compare the physical property of both the substances. So very first is the taste. So all of we know the taste of acid is what? Sour. So acids are sour in taste and bases are bitter in taste. Second is acids are able to conduct electricity in aqueous solution. If we add water in the acid, if we dissociate the ions of acid, it can conduct the electricity. And this is the common property of acids and bases both. Bases also can conduct electricity in the aqueous solution. Both are the good conductor of electricity in aqueous solution. The third is one of the indicator test I have written over here, that it turns blue litmus red and bases turns red litmus blue. Now you have just read the many more indicators. We have different categories and we can observe different changes of acid and bases in it. So I have written one of the very common indicator, the turning of blue litmus paper to red in the case of acids and turning of red litmus to blue in the case of bases. Now the fourth point is the pH of acid is less than 7. Now this is a new term for you that we read in our next lecture. Here you just remember that the pH of acids are less than 7 and the pH of bases are more than 7. Next property is concentrated acids are corrosive. In chapter 1 I have told you about the corrosion and how it occurs. Here concentrated acids are also one of the factors which promotes corrosion. So concentrated acids are corrosive in nature, but bases are generally not corrosive in nature. Some bases which are solid, they are corrosive only. The sixth property is acids are able to react with metals, carbonates, hydrogen carbonates and bases. And bases are able to react with some metals, acids, acidic oxide and acidic salts. So these are the physical or common properties, general properties of acids and bases. In the next lecture, we'll focus on this sixth point, that is actually what? The chemical properties of acids and bases. So in next lecture, we'll continue our class with the chemical properties of acids and bases. Thank you.